All right, guys, I got a 2014 Ford Explorer. It's got the 3.5 liter in it, and the customer complaint is it's been to another dealership. Customer took this to a Ford dealer, and they wanted like $3,000 to replace the steering rack. Let's check and verify the customer concern first. Start the vehicle. Turn it to the left. Oh, doesn't want to go anymore. And then it gets free. And then it gets bound up, and then go the other way. Bound up, free, bound up, free. That's typically not because of a steering rack. That's typically because a U-joint that's going bad in the intermediate shaft or sector shaft or whatever you'd call it, the steering shaft. Normally the U-joint starts to bind up and you get free bind, free bind, free bind whenever you're turning the steering wheel. It doesn't really come down to a steering rack. So I'm gonna put this thing up in the air. I'm gonna check underneath it. You're gonna get the steering shaft out of here and inspect it, and we'll do some investigation from there. So now that I got the Explorer up in the air, we're gonna come over here on this side and we're gonna look through this area here at the sector shaft. Yep. It's all rusted out and bound up. It needs a new sector shaft. Now you could spray it and work it and spray it and work it, and it'd come loose, but it'd end up falling apart slowly after that. You may as well just put like $100, $120 sector shaft in it. That's the shaft that goes through the bottom of the car and then goes up into the knuckle at the steering. Basically pull the lower plastic out from underneath the steering wheel, the metal shield out from underneath the steering wheel. You'll have like a T40 or something like that, torch bolt up there I think, and then on the bottom it's a 10 mil, and then you'll have to take something and probably tap the bottom up so it slides up and gets out of that rust that's holding it, and then the top should just wiggle off and slide down. I'm gonna go see what it'd take right now to order it, and then yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so I pulled the 10 millimeter bolt out of that collar, pulled the bolt out, and then I used a pry bar and a hammer, and I tapped into the opening of the slot to open it up a little bit. And then I took my long pry bar and put it up underneath the collar on the flat spot right here underneath, and I tapped it up as much as I could on that side. Then I came over here on an angle, and I got it on an angle right here with my big pry bar, and I was able to tap it up the rest of the way there. Now what I need to do is I need to lower the vehicle and get inside and take that lower shield out from underneath the steering column and stuff, and gain access to that upper U-joint. All right, so what I did was I grabbed this and pulled it back around. You don't have to do that. I would actually suggest not doing that. Take these 7 mils out first and then pull it down. There's one here and there's one here. And then you can pull the plastic cover down. It'll unsnap a little easier that way. And then once you get that off, you have this plate right here. There's 4 10 millimeters that hold this plate on. Take the plate off, and then you'll see right above it where the knuckle is for the steering shaft. We're gonna go back to our CC 3/8 drive electric ratchet. This thing is phenomenal. All right, I took the bolt out up above the T40. I slid the collar down, and then I compressed this clamp right here. You'll see it move, watch. That clamp, I compressed that right there with a set of clamp pliers, and then I took and pulled the base of it up until the rubber slid out of the housing, and then I was able to collapse the collar back together, shove it up that way, and then bring it out the bottom. This is what it looks like, all froze up. Yeah, it's all bound up. It doesn't want to move. One way it does, the other way it doesn't. So it wasn't a $3,000 rack job, it was a $500 steering shaft job. We got the new shaft in, all buttoned down, got it all lined back up. When I start this job, I take a piece of electrical tape and I put it around this, and I go around the turn signal selector and the washer selector, so the steering wheel can't move. So when I'm doing all my work, it'll be able to move just a little bit, so you can line things up, but it won't turn and come out of time or sequence. Now I can go ahead and put everything back together, and then let's go test drive it. And here we are. No more binding up. Everything moving free. That's a Diagnosing repair. That's check engine truck, let's say. Y'all be blessed. I hope this helps you. Oh, and if you're looking for the part number, let me get it for you real quick. The part number is Bravo 5 Zulu 3 Bravo 676 Charlie. You can go with cheaper aftermarket parts if you want. This has lasted 150,000 miles pretty much. So we went back with the Ford OE one because we don't want to be doing this again a year or two from now. Y'all take care. Be blessed. Have a great day.